So we're delighted to be joined by Sheffield United player, Ireland player, but probably most importantly for this audience, former Shamrock Rovers player, Enda Stevens. Enda, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. And yourself?
Good, yeah, not too bad at all. You're enjoying a well-earned break after a bit of a crazy season. Obviously, the world has been in a state of turmoil, and from your playing career, you had the big gap during the season. But from Sheffield United's point of view, how do you look back on a season, looking at the stats, wins over Spurs, Arsenal, Chelsea, and ninth in the table? How do you look back on the season?
Yeah, obviously it's been an incredible season for us. We started off on fire, and we kind of maintained that consistency over the course of the season. And I think with lockdown, it probably came at the wrong time for us. It kind of upset us. We didn't really get going again when we came back. We kind of had to build our way up in the games, but we kind of got fired and then we just fell off the chase for European football towards the end, which was a bit disappointing for us. Like,
and the League of Ireland is back now on Friday. The Rovers players are itching to get that playing. What was it like for you when it happened? Probably pretty quickly that you guys had to kind of get back in training and then get back into the matches and playing behind closed doors, which was probably a bit strange.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. We were waiting and waiting and waiting, and then we finally got the date, and it was like, well, here we go. The date is literally, I think it was 3 or 4 weeks away. So it was like, came around thick and fast, and I think we played most of the games in the space of a month. I think it was 9 games in the space of a month. So it was tough, but it had to be done, and it's not going to be the same without the fans. It never will be, but it's just something you got to get your head around as quickly as possible and just adapt to it.
And you have a bit of a break now. Back, I think it's mid-September will be the start. I know you'll be probably cursing yourself. You'll be back in pre-season pretty soon. But there's also the Ireland game ahead as well. And there's a couple of obviously teammates, John Egan, Dave McGoldrick, that you play with at club level. You guys are going to be involved with this game coming up in Slovakia with Stephen Kenny as a manager. I'm sure that's something you're really looking forward to when that kind of gets going again.
Yeah, we can't wait for that. Obviously, we've gone a long time without internationals as well. So we were looking forward to obviously playing the Slovakia game, which is going to be huge. And now it looks like I don't know what way it'll work, but it looks like the internationals may be behind closed doors. I know the ones at the start may well be, but
well, I was looking, actually, Slovakia is on the much talked about green list. So fingers crossed that's not till October. So everyone will be hoping for all those reasons that it'll be going ahead at that stage, you know.
Yeah, hopefully. I think it needs to be. It's such a big game, and it's one that the fans won't want to miss out on. So fingers crossed. Obviously, yeah, the green list will stay there, and something will happen then that'll get fans back on seats in the stadiums. But as I said, look, it's another thing to look forward to, and it's a short pre-season. It's going to be a quick turnaround, especially with internationals, I think, starting before the actual Premier League.
And we're chatting on Wednesday, and I should offer my congratulations. So you've been shortlisted one of 3 players for Ireland Senior Player of the Year alongside Len Whelan and your club teammate Dave McGoldrick. But that's a reflection on how well you've played for Ireland, putting on the green jersey in the last year.
Yeah, no, that's obviously, I'm delighted. It's a big achievement to just be nominated, and especially being up there. Where obviously I know Didsy very well. I know Wheelo as well, and Colin Robinson, I think, is nominated for a young player as well. Yeah. So it's good to see that the Sheffield United guys are being represented well for our country.
And if we can chat a little bit about Shamrock Rovers, it's 10 years ago this week, would you believe, you played against Juventus. That was the 2010 fixture in the Europa League. Yeah, I hope I'm not making you feel too old, but in terms of your time at Rovers, you were part of a really successful team at Rovers, won 2 league titles, and obviously the European run in 2011. When you look back on that, what do you look back most fondly? Is it the league titles? Is it the Europa League? Is it the win in Belgrade? What kind of sticks in your mind?
To be fair, it all kind of sticks in my head. Like, I'll never forget the night out in Bray, when we won it. I think, I don't know, it was the last. I think we won on goal difference that year, didn't we?
I think two goals. It was a pretty
2 goals.
Pretty nerve-wracking for the fans. I don't know what it was like on the pitch.
It was one of the worst games to ever be involved in as a standard goes. But it was just great to kind of get that, because you know how much it meant to the Rovers fans. You know, they'd be waiting for so long for it. So to get that first title was brilliant. And I think the second season, did we win at UCD?
Yeah, UCD, Dean Kelly, I think it was, with a late
Late
goal
goal,
right at
and
the end.
then
Yeah,
you had the fans run onto the pitch in the UCD Bowl. So I remember it all. I remember the FAI Cup final against Sligo, which was one of the worst games, probably one of the worst cup final games you'll ever see as well, which we had the disappointment of. But the main one, the big one, is obviously Partizan. The home game, like, I think the home game was extra special, like, just to see the performances of like Gary McCabe and that, how good he was, and to go over there, in their home turf. It was a really tough game, but it's credit to the lads how well we just kind of like stuck in there and held in there, and we obviously won the game in the final stages.
yeah, it's one of the ones during lockdown. Rovers replayed again, and Air Sport played it again. And actually, Con Murphy had a chat with Ryan Thompson, who was in goal that night. We played that for the quiz last time, and you're our guest star this time for the quiz this time. But yeah, in terms of that, seems to be like to get into the Europa League group stages, and then that gave you opportunity to play, you know, against Spurs, and now with your club career, you're back playing Premier League against these kind of clubs. So that, I know you'd signed for Aston Villa towards the end of that season, but that must have given you great confidence having played against those clubs as you were beginning your career over in the UK then.
Yeah, it was just a different feel. The one thing that when we were playing back in the League of Ireland, you always look forward to the European games, because it's really exciting to play. And obviously, you travel to different countries, and the standard of football is different, the way they play it and that. So it's just, you want to kind of prove yourself at that level, and it was a great chance for me to show what I could do, and thankfully I got the move off it. And thankfully Aston Villa allowed me to stay to play in the group stages, which was a great experience for me, you know.
And the saying is kind of once a hoop, always a hoop. So the FAI Cup win, was that something you kept an eye on Rovers back in the start of November when Rovers were in the final again for the first time since you played in 2010?
I did, yeah, and thankfully they won it. No, I did. I to be honest, it's tough for us to watch the games. We can't really seem to watch them in the UK, which is a bit disappointing. But I was delighted to see it, especially for Bradza, you know, to get the FAI Cup. It was brilliant. And they're doing it in the right kind of manner with the style of play that they're playing. That they've got some exciting players there, which I know very well, with the likes of Borky and Jack Bourne and that. So Finna's still going, the old man.
Yeah, he'd be delighted. He'd be delighted. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you played with Stephen Bradley now, who's the head coach, and he won in terms of the cup final last time out. It's been brilliant for everyone involved in the club to get that bit of silverware. We're hoping to go again. That doesn't continue till after the league is finished, because the way the season goes. But like winning trophies is something that every player wants to do, win a bit of silverware.
Yeah, definitely. I think, especially when you're at Rovers, they're used to winning, and they have such a good history. So it's great to see them finally get their hands on that cup as well. You know, it was something we failed to do. We got close to, but we failed to. And then Brad's as a manager, which is excellent. And hopefully now they can really kick on and kind of start challenging for leagues and cups again. You know.
And Jack Byrne has been a teammate of yours with Ireland. There hasn't been that many League of Ireland players that have got a chance to be capped. Rovers have a couple. Graham Burke was capped when he was with Rovers before he made the move across the UK and came back. So, like, to have League of Ireland players, someone like Jack's quality in the squad, it's great from an Ireland point of view, and it's great from a League of Ireland point of view to have these players involved in the squad.
Yeah, there's plenty of talent in that league. You go back to Stephen Kenny's Dundalk team, how well they done in their European campaign, and they've always produced these players, and it's just good to see. Obviously, Borky got called up, and he managed to score while he was playing the League of Ireland. So that was great to see. It was great for him as well, and you got Jack Bourne there now. He doesn't look out of place in training when he steps up into the squads, and it's just brilliant to see. And it needs more of it, to be honest.
Super, Enda. Listen, really appreciate your time. Enjoy your well-earned break, because you won't be long. You'll be back playing football, but and hopefully we'll see you pulling on the green jersey for the playoff when that comes around, and all the best success for that. He might get a chance to play in the Viva Stadium game in the Euros with Ireland, which would be great, you know.
Yeah, hopefully. Cheers.
Right,
Thanks.
thanks a lot, and all the best.
I'll
Thanks a
see you
lot.
later. All the best.
See you now.
See ya.
Bye bye.